A very good morning to you. Welcome to Natasha Makes. Wow, it looks like it might be a nice day out there. You never know. Bit of sunshine going on. But it's always lovely in the studio. We know this. It's the place that the weather can't ruin, which is fabulous. Oh, hello, it's telling me that I could view it on a big televisual screen. I can do that there. I can check. Hello to Rebecca and Patricia. Hello, and Elizabeth and Natalie and Anne. Good morning to you. Early birds this morning. So yesterday, gosh, what a day. Jane, bless her, made these stunning creations. And it's not too late. You can get, if you're wanting to make now, you can get your digital download version of the Tudor Rose Runner, which doubles up as your poppy as well, or the daisy version, depends on which you want. And today we're surrounded by beautiful Liberty loveliness. Not sure I can say that fast too many times. Hello Grace and Tina, good morning, and Heather, hello, and Leanne and Linda and Elizabeth, how's your back feeling? Any better? Lots of you might have noticed Elizabeth was with us yesterday. She was having some injections in her back, which sounds horrendous. Morning Claire. Oh gosh, she's busy making masks again. They've all gone crazy. And Jenny, good morning from a cold Berkshire. Good morning. And Sharon and Joe, hello. Oh, it's sunny in Wales. This is good to know. Thank you, Natalie, for letting us know. And Valerie and Jane and Barbara, hello. It's wet in Norfolk. Oh, Helen, that's a shame. I've got I feel a bit of a cheat actually, because this is normally my mum's mug because she loves donkeys, so she normally has the Eeyore mug. I always used to have, I had this one and a Tigger one, and when I was teaching, the kids would always know if it was my day in or if it was me teaching their lesson, because the mug would be on the table. I'm having flashbacks this morning. Nancy, good morning, and Margaret and Julia, hello, and Steph and Karen. Karen, are you feeling any better today, my love? And Kate, hi, she says it's sunny here, good morning. Susie says that she's surrounded by Liberty loveliness too. Susie, have you got early pickings on the Liberty Deco? Have you? Because we don't get that till next year. So one of my suppliers, every time he emails me, the new Liberty Deco collection is sort of on the corner of the email. And I keep saying, when am I getting it? And he's like, well, not until like January or February next year. I hate pre-order. I'm so impatient. But I want it now. It's seriously beautiful. So in order to make myself feel happy, I've got Tana Lawn, and we're going to see how far two fat quarters can stretch. That's the challenge. Good morning, Lorraine. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Sally and Shirley. Hello, and Francis. Good morning, Nancy. She's getting a gorgeous collie pup, so must start making a little blanket for him. Yes, small teeth chewing. Maybe don't make it too special. Maybe take your time, and then by the time he's 18 months, just my experience. My two are terrors for chewing. Oh, Karen, you've got some beautiful Christmas lights for your birthday. Oh, well, that lights help, don't they? We'll all get through this together. It's okay. Morning, Jackie. Hello, and Jane. Hello. Who else do we have? Oh, Susie, it is that Liberty. Well, how did you get it early? That's not fair. Sulking now. I will need to see it, and I will need to see what projects you've done with it as well. We need to talk, Susie. Hello, Jan. Hello, Yvonne. Hello, and Susan. Yeah, beautiful. Do you know what? As soon as you're saying that sounds nice, new Liberty fabric, it's utterly beautiful. But the thing with Liberty is that it doesn't really age, does it? So I know that certainly when they started doing the quilting weight fabrics, they went through their vast array of patterns and just recoloured some of them. Why not? Why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we've got a little bit of a Liberty flow going on this morning, and I'll explain why in a minute. And How gorgeous, full of energy and intellect. Enjoy. Oh, Honey, what are you talking about? Good morning, Rachel, Sunny in Shropshire. Are the puppies having a nice time out of their... You see, this is another lady with pups, but Rachel breeds them. Are they out of your bedroom now and watching us? That's what we want to know. Hi, Simone. Hello, hello. And Sylvia and Beryl. Good morning. And Joe. Hello. And Christine. Hello. How are you? Christine, I loved that top that you made the other day. It looked absolutely gorgeous. And Karen says, yeah, she loves Liberty fabric. Good choice. Haha. Right, and Agnes, good morning, and Valerie and Liz. Right, shall I show you the fabric? So, oh, Liesl, good morning, and Kim, hello. Things I've made so far. I wanted to revisit a couple of things just because of some of the messages that we said yesterday, and what else? And also just because sometimes it's nice to look at what we already have rather than always buying new and going, okay, what patterns have I got that maybe I haven't utilised yet? What things can I revisit and do in different colourways, or whatever it is that you're going for. I wanted to bring you something that would be perfect for so many makes, and this is it. So for each of the combinations, you are going to get a very large fat quarter of denim. Now it's 95% cotton and 5% elastane. And if I show you, yours will be cut straight. This was the first one off the bolt. So actually, no, this is what I had left over. Oh my goodness. So yesterday, in readiness for the show, and I'll just show you this here, I made, a lot of you know I use these every time we have a show. This is my eco-filled tablet stand, which are still one of our best sellers, I have to say, but with a little bit of a tweak on the handle and using the Tana launch. So I'll show you how, because it's just a slight difference. And this is filled with the beautiful Christmas scent, which we now have on the website, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So I did that out of the fat quarter, and then I made a lovely little door stopper with a Liberty handle there. Okay, so that out of the fat quarter, and still remaining, I still have that and a great long strip there, and I still have that, and I still have, yeah, all of that left over. So that's another, at least another one, if not two projects. So for a $12.99 bundle of fabric, that's not bad. That's a couple of quid a make. I think that's all right, you know, for a few quid a make. If you can make 3 or 4 things out of it, then we're laughing, aren't we? Other things I thought would look great that I'm still looking at, thinking, oh, I've got enough probably to do it, would be the any size pouch that we made a few weeks ago. Could you imagine opening that up and having your beautiful Tana lawn in there, your Liberty Tana lawn, and this out of denim? Would be fab, just fab. So all of those things that we've already had, we've already bought, we've already got, I think let's use those. The new pattern on the show today, obviously, is the door stopper that we've got here for you. And I've been making these in one guise or another for years. In fact, this was one of the first ones that I made, and it's very dusty now. And oh my goodness, my stitching has improved. But this was one of... Actually, no, it wasn't. I've been making these for longer than Freddie's been alive, because this was one of the things that I started off making. But it just goes to show you can make it out of whatever. And here I chose to do like a feature top and base. And that's out of Tilda fabric. That's out quite a long one away. I've also made these out of upholstery fabrics, anything like that. So you can make it out of whatever pretty much you like, but it just depends on what you want to fill it with. So let's all... Oh, Leanne says, love your ideas, Natasha. I sometimes can't decide what to do with my fabric. Do you know, I totally get that, and it can be really overwhelming. And I get the set. I do get the same, because sometimes, like when suppliers send me, when I do Hochanda shows, I don't take on Natasha Makes stuff apart from my patterns. So a supplier will send me fabric to then make stuff and go on and represent them, which is great. But sometimes I do look at it and there's that added pressure that actually I've got to make something that's going to sell their fabrics and look good for them. When it's me, you know, it's you know, it's for myself, it's different. And there's an added pressure when it's for somebody else. But I think let's get beautiful fabrics in our home in ways that we can use them and see them, that just bring a little bit of light and just a bit of fun. And if you love fabrics, make me happy, and I'm assuming that they do for you as well, else you wouldn't be watching. So let's have little snippets of these around the house, and they don't have to match all the decor. They can just be a little snippet of colour here and there, and I think that's absolutely fine, completely fine. So yeah, that's my feeling on the matter. But this is the tablet stand that I use every day. We have these in the bedroom. I even have ones with PU, with pleather on the bottom, so they can go in the bathroom, because the kids FaceTime my mum and dad when they're in the bath, and I don't want everything getting wet, so we precariously balance an iPad stand on the edge of the bath, and I just hope the kids don't make any exaggerated movements so that it doesn't go in. But so we use it all the time. I've got friends that keep them in their kitchen so that they can prop open their recipe books. They're very, very versatile. The key is not to overfill them. And so 250 grams of the buckwheat is the perfect amount. Right, let's talk buckwheat and fillings for these. I know, and I need to apologise, back in August and September, we had supply issues with House of Alistair stuff. I'm going to be completely honest. I think that the volume of orders that came in, not just from us, but from other places that Alistair sells to, I think just swamped him, and then you put on not being able to get staff because of COVID and everything else. So there was a supply. I'm going to put my hands up. We did have a supply issue, and we took down all of House of Alistair stock until we could resolve it. Okay, so we're now in the position, and this is just because our company has grown, we're now in the position where we can now stock it here. When we first started, I have to attribute him to the fast growth of Natasha Makes, because he was so kind enough to offer dropship as an option for us. So dropship is where we send the orders on and he fulfills them and sends them. And we have a few suppliers that do it for us. But as soon as COVID hit, a lot of those we had to bring in-house, and that was massive for a brand new company. We only started in January the 10th we launched. So to suddenly then have to buy stock in was huge for us. And just the fact that Alistair did dropship for us helped us massively, and has allowed us to get to where we are today. So until we could resolve all of the issues that we had, we took down all of the products, but we do love the products, and I know that you do love the products. So the only way that we could solve it fully was to make sure that we have them here in our warehouse. So that's what we've done. And between now and the end of next week, it's all coming in. Okay, so we will be able to fulfill them all. We've got all of the buckwheat, we've got all of the lavender, we've got the rose scent buckwheat, we've got the sandalwood scent buckwheat, we've got the Christmas scent buckwheat, we've got big bags of lavender, and we've got the plain buckwheat as well. So we've got all of those. Now the buckwheat, and I have this, hang on, I've got this written down on here so that I can say, right, the buckwheat has been triple graded and forced air cleaned, sounds painful, making this the perfect hypoenergenic filling for a whole host of different crafts. Used to fill meditation and yoga pillows. I have one, they're amazing. I have this stuff actually in my pillow that I sleep on at night with lavender. It's divine. It's 100% organic, and it's an eco-friendly filling alternative. So that's what we have for you. And I've used it in so many different things. You can use it in your door stopper, by all means. I have another eco thing for you as well to look at, but in the tablet stands, it's fabulous rather than having to use the polystyrene balls that you get in in bean bags. So they are all in stock. They are all in the warehouse and they are being weighed out and bagged up today and tomorrow. That's what's happening there. So I just wanted to assure you that we have them ready to send out, because the Christmas filling is amazing. And as soon as you step in here, the smell of it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, Alistair developed the Christmas scent, and hang on, let me show you what that looks like. Oh, it's here. Hang on, let me put that back on there. Can't do this one-handed. You need to jiggle these in, by the way. There we go. And let's go to there, and let me show you this. So, that is your buckwheat, and you notice those little white things. They are the perfume carriers. Now, this perfume, the Christmas scent, is absolutely divine, and Alistair developed it for Liberty. So, Liberties and us have got the Christmas scent. Don't know where else it is, but certainly we've got it. And it is absolutely beautiful. And already when you walk in, it just smells divine. So these are the little bits that give it the scent, the little white ones. So it's quite strong because it's all been freshly perfumed. If you, and this is what a lot of people have found, you can mix this with more loose buckwheat if you want it to go further, and if you don't want it smelling quite so strong, or you can pop it in your potpourri bowl. Lots and lots of uses for it, but it really does smell amazing. And like I say, us and Liberties, woo, told you there was a Liberty theme, didn't I, this morning? So yeah, it's really rather special, and I absolutely love it, and I was so keen to get it back for you because I know lots of you had been asking for it. Right, so you can get that by the 250 gram bag. So let's have a quick drink and carry on. Liberty. Let's take a look at these. So these are not just any old fat quarters. These are super big ones. So this is 50 centimeters by, I think I measured it to be 85 centimeters of your denim, and it's a lovely rich, there we go, indigo colour, really gorgeous. So this, I found, has set off every single Liberty fabric, an absolute treat. And so this is the one that I'm going to demo with today. Yeah, this is option number 1. Is that not beautiful? You see, I love these. I absolutely love these. And oh, Syl says that she is so pleased that we're stocking House of Alistair again. Would love to see you make a scented sleep pillow. Okay, alrighty, it's on the list. And the other thing that's on the list still actually is a bolster. I've got bolsters coming up in the next couple of weeks, so you know, let's have a think about that as well. This is option number 2. I don't know all the names. I'm really sorry about that, and I didn't have time to. Oh, morning, Tracy. I didn't have time to check them all out. But so we've gone for the age-old option number 1, 2, option number 3. Now some of these, like this, I think I only have 2 of these. But these are, and I'll show you how big they are, 50 by 68 centimeters. Now normally a fat quarter is 50 by about 55, 56 centimeters. So you're getting extra width on this. And this is your Liberty Tana Lawn. Beautiful. So you've got that in 4 different colorways. I mean, look at that. Hey! Doesn't that look beautiful with it? I have absolutely loved the lusciousness of these colors. Really, really beautiful. Very, very gorgeous. And when we were looking, yeah, lots of little hearts coming up on the screen here. Aren't they just gorgeous? And it's so Liberty. And I think if you put just a little bit of this on a gift, something that you're making, it just gives it that bit of class, doesn't it? It just gives it that bit of class. So to be able to make 3 or 4 makes out of this, Liberty makes out of this, then oh my goodness, isn't that just gorgeous? Elizabeth said he is very stylish, isn't he? Yes, he is. What a lovely man he has been to you and to all of us. Do you know, he He absolutely has. Alistair and I've been friends for many years, and he's cracking, absolutely cracking. So, you know, I think we've all struggled a bit in our own different ways with COVID, and, you know, just trying to get staff, I totally get that, has been a nightmare for some. It's been really tricky. Here we go. You see, I rather love this one too. Absolutely love it. Rachel says, would you pre-wash the denim? That's entirely up to you. You know, you're not going to dressmake with it. The only time that I would definitely for sure dressmake pre-wash is if you're dressmaking, because obviously cotton does have a shrinkage. So the last thing you want to do is make something and then have to dye it to get into it. That's not a happy scenario. But every single one of these, without fail, goes with this denim. Oh, this one's one of my favourites too. Sorry, Jacqueline, she says, I'm breaking her piggy bank. Yeah. Christine says, do I need any more Liberty but all that blue? I know, Christine. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And you're... I have my own favourites, and it was one of those things. It's Sophie's choice. It's do I, because I'll end up I know I'll end up keeping or gifting half of what I make today, and it was one of those things. Do I make demo on the show out of one that is my favourite, but I might have fewer of? And then you guys can't have as many, or do I go with one that I have more of? I'm just like, oh, I don't know. It's been tricky. I'm not gonna lie, it's been tricky. But you can see these are mega amounts, and I will demo today out of the first one because I love this one anyway. And let me show you how these work. How these work is fabric. How these work. It's not technology. Oh, talking of technology, and without trying to go all QVC on you or anything like that, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about a mutual friend that we went to school with, and her husband was one of the top designers at Vax, and they've gone it alone and produced the most incredible Hoover, and it was Which's best. It was voted Which's best Hoover, but to officially get that rating, you have to pay them thousands. I didn't realise this. I didn't. That's how Which they give you everything for free, but I didn't realise that you then have to actually pay them thousands to actually get that. You know, to officially get that ranking. So they couldn't afford to do it because they were a new startup company. But I heard about it. I'm going to try it. It's carbon fibre and super lightweight. Would that be of interest to you? Because I figured that most of us have a lot of cotton threads on our floors. And it's a handheld, it's a cordless one, and super light. And yeah, it's absolutely taken the vacuum world, because apparently there is one, by storm. I'm going to road test it first before I bring it to air, but if it is something that might be of interest to you, then just let me know. Otherwise I'll just, I'll just pop it on the website and there. But if you want to have a look at it, then yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'm actually, for the first time in a very long time, excited to Hoover. And I break on average at least one a year. So hoovering around here is quite an expensive pastime. Yeah, but I just thought I'd mention it because, yeah, you see, that's just it. Elizabeth says super lightweight is good for her. And this came from a friend who has fibromyalgia, and she was super excited because trying to lug a Hoover up the stairs for her is really difficult too. So I thought, well, people aren't alone in this. I mean, I don't have any of that, but I still have a lot of stairs to Hoover, and actually none of my cordless ones have remained powerful for very long, and it's been a big disappointment. So I was very excited to hear about this. So I just throw it out there. When I get it and when I've put it through its paces, which I will, let me tell you, then I'll bring it on it. But I think it's about 250. So it's not the cheapest on the market, but it is apparently the best. And to be honest, if that lasted me 3 years as opposed to 1, I'm quids in. Donna says, oh, someone who breaks as many hoovers as me. My understairs cupboard is the place that hoovers go to die. And I can't believe I'm actually admitting this on air. I actually sent a hoover repair guy off with 7. I can't throw them away because like they might be useful one day. I don't know how I think this might be useful. Like the keys from 3 houses ago in the drawer might be useful. No. But I sent them off and yeah, you know, they worked for a week when they came back. So I'm very excited about this. Yeah, see, Debbie says she's got fibromyalgia too. Now, I'm not saying it's going to cure fibromyalgia or anything. I'm not making any ridiculous claims like that. But I do know that you have anything like that, super lightweight, is of interest. Jacqueline's in Hoover Heaven. Yeah, Hoover Heaven. No, Hoover Heaven is what is under my stairs. You're quite right. It's a vacuum. Hoover is a brand. Oh, you know what I mean, Diane. There's always going to be one, isn't there, that picks me up on that. Hoover, vacuum, whatever. You know what I mean. It sucks stuff up that I don't want on the floor. Point taken. Right. Okay. I didn't realise that vacuum or hoover would be something that would upset people. I apologise, Dan. Whitey ho. Let's have a look at... Oh, Christine's hubby does most of the hoovering. Ha! Yeah, you see, lightweight in your sewing room. Am I the only one that might stick a nozzle in their sewing machine to clean it? More confessions this morning. Yeah, you see, lots of you have got fibromyalgia. Yeah, has a handheld Dyson, doesn't really pick up cotton threads. Yes. And cat hair and dog hair and all that kind of stuff. Now, quick mention of Smarfs, because I want to do a featured Smarf a day for you for a little while, because I realise that there is so much choice now, and again, they will be in next week. The full shebang will be in at the end of next week, so not long to wait if you've ordered one. And thank you, actually, by the way, for everyone that has ordered one. It was a big leap of faith to actually go into manufacture, and I still can't quite believe that when I say it. Here we go. So let me show you this one, because I went with this fabric because it sort of was a bit Liberty-esque in my mind. Oh, that's all right. Donna also sticks her her vacuum into her overlocker. There, I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm glad, that's all right. Elizabeth says she sucks the sewing machine. That sounds even worse. Yeah, you see, hoovering it sounds okay. Less weird than sucking your sewing machine. Rachel says, could you test drive the vacuum for dog hair too? Absolutely, of course. I mean, it's going to be in my house, so that's kind of like de rigueur. Yeah, of course. So this today, to celebrate this one, I'm going to take 15% off this one today. If this is one that you fancy, there we go. So there we are. That is today's Smarf of the day. Oh, I think that should be the feature. Smarf of the day. And each Smarf of the day will have a little extra discount, because obviously you guys have used your friends discount, your friends 10 to get 10% off. But this has got 15 off just as a little Smarf of the day. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh, Jenny, yes, I demoed the iPad Eco stand on the 13th of January. Was that? Yeah, it was my very first solo show, which was absolutely nuts, because the very first show we ever did was the 10th of January. Gosh, you'll see how much we've changed in such a short space of time. I think we were still quite rigid and yeah. It's more of a Christine says, I have that green. Oh. Diana, you're stepping down off your soapbox, bless you. She's gone into FedEx and all sorts of things and Hoover. What else is there? What else do we say that has become a marketing person's absolute dream? So yeah, we do say, oh, I'll FedEx that to you, or, you know, it's a Hoover or it's a vacuum. What else do we say? They've kind of come into our language, haven't they, and just become colloquial. John wants a plain one. Which one did you just show, please? I showed the green, but I'll sort you a plain one for John. That, oh, hang on, it helps if I actually change the camera angle. There you go. That's the green one. Oh, Ali's had to crank up the sound as Paul has decided to hoover upstairs. Yeah, but you're not going to complain, are you? Do not complain that he is doing the hoovering. Don't do that. No, 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 no. You see, Rachel bought a second one for upstairs, but never found a good one for the stairs. We're back on the vacuum. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm going to take that as a yes, then, shall I? On the vacuum / hoover front. Okay, good to know. Good to know. It's one of these things. They are the unsung heroes of our lives, aren't they? They truly are. I'm going to pop this little gem there for a minute whilst I do some cutting. We're going to make today the little door stopper. There we go. Now, obviously, you can use whatever fabrics you want. Half meter heavens would look gorgeous in this as well. And then you could do the lid and the base and the handle the same, or just, you know, use it. This could just be a scrap. It really doesn't matter. But Google, says Margaret. You're so right. Yeah. Oh, we'll just Google that. She uses Bing, and that's okay. As long as it's not the kids' TV show, because that's a bit annoying, and I don't think that you'd find many answers. He's got a bit of a whiny voice. I've got a bit of a thing about Bing. Not a fan. Right, let's put the older. So, Tana lawn. Let's talk Tana lawn. Tana lawn is it's a lighter weight cotton fabric, 100% cotton. Originated when Liberty sourced their cottons from Egypt, and they are super fine. They're very, very long threads, and this is why it's so fine, because the cotton fibers are very, very long, so it could be woven, it could be made fine, really, really fine. Now, people underestimate lawn fabric all the time. Tana lawn is the Liberty iconic. I'm probably teaching grandmother to suck eggs here, but you know, it's the absolute iconic fabric of Liberty's is the Tana lawn. Do not underestimate it. It is incredibly durable because the thread count is so high. Because the threads are so thin, there have to be that many more to make up, you know, a section, that it really is incredibly durable. So don't think, oh, it's Tana lawn, I've got to be careful, it's delicate or anything like that. It's robust, and enjoy it. Just enjoy it, because it is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Give it a quick press. Presses up a treat. Oh, lovely. Does anybody else get that thing that when you get your fabrics, like they look all nice folded and everything else, but then, especially if you get it on a nice sunny day and you open it up and the colours glow, and that's what we've found with our fabrics, is that the colours glow, and that's when I know that we've got really beautiful quality for you. And it just makes me really happy. Okay, so okay, so there it is, and I'm using this one because it's got it's just exquisite. There we go. Did you know, here's a little fact for you. Did you know that our Natasha Makes logo down the bottom of the screen there was inspired by a Liberty Paisley? Did you know that? Yeah. When Josh and I first went for lunch to discuss my crazy idea of setting up my my own channel that, you know, I might do a day a week, he often reminds me of this. He's like, do you remember? You were just going to do something really small. Maybe a day a week, just so that you didn't always have to travel to other channels to work. It's like, yeah. Okay. I think we were only going to do a Monday, and then by week 2 we had already started our Textile Tuesday. So it's quite amazing how these things just go. But that's down to you guys. That's completely down to you guys. If you hadn't have got behind us and supported us, and been gentle with us when things went a bit wobbly because we were new and learning, then we wouldn't be here making door stoppers out of beautiful Liberty fabric. I mean, you know. Here we are. Right. So we've got a lot of this. I'm going to cut a strip from it. Now, what I would say to you is, if you are going to do multiple patterns out of your fabric, just have a little think about how you're going to lay it out. Because thinking about it now, I might have laid out that fabric slightly different, cut it out slightly differently, so that I could do maybe another tablet stand or something. I don't know, but it's just a thought. Right, for the door stopper. Hurrah, hurrah. There we go. You are going to need a main piece of fabric, and it is, so there's not a lot of cutting, and you know that there's not a lot of cutting when I haven't cut it in advance, but I do, however. Right, it's no good. I actually need the space. Okay, let's go there. Let's pop that there. With these, jiggle them in. You just need to jiggle them in, and then it stays put. There we are. Right. Let's get cutting, shall we? Right. So I'm just going to cut a strip along here. What's this? 8 inches. Let's pop that. You get so much left over. So much. In fact, I could probably make this out of what I had left over from the other one that I did. And then and each time with the Stropology, I'm just lining up the base there and cutting off my end so that I know that we are completely square, and off we go. But it's perfect for this kind of prep. Now, the other bit that I need to cut is gonna be, and actually this I might cut out of my other strip that I had left over. My leftovers. Here we go. What do I need? Top and bottom pieces. How wide is it? Can I get it out of that? No, I cannot. That is absolutely fine. Okay, so I need to concentrate, don't I? Else we're gonna be in trouble. So top and bottom pieces, and then you cut. I've put a 1/2 inch seam allowance on this. You'll see why in a minute. But I have put 1/2 inch seam allowance, and we're going to deal with that now. So it is time to get out. If you've got a creative grid, go for it. Get it out now. And here we go. So 1/2 inch seam allowance. let's have a look at this from here. I've got just a white pencil. I can't find my trio pen, which is really annoying because that would have been far better because it's a much thinner thing. But what I will do instead, here we go, I'm going to mark on every single piece a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay, I'm going to do that in white. And if you've got a Creative Grids ruler, then you have got 1/4 inch on one side there. So where the black numbers are, all the black numbers give you 1.5 inches. So this side is that 1/2, and that's sort of frosted in their non-slip grip, which is ace. And this is where they just come into their own. The Stropology rulers are back in stock. They took a while. I don't think we've had those since August. So if you had already ordered one, they did take a little bit longer. We were told they were going to be here the beginning of October, and actually they only came in last, I want to say Wednesday. So we've got those out now. So anybody, here we go. Let's spin these around. And this is just going to give us a guide. Actually, do you know what? This denim looks nice on the other side as well. And around we go. And then the marking up, what is it they say? Prior and proper preparation prevents poor performance. Hey up. Josh, here we go. What are we saying? What are you lot saying to Josh? I can't see it. All I can see is just a wee suggestion for you, Josh. I know, a bit cheeky. And I can't read the rest of it. Josh, what are they making you do? What are they making you do? Okay. What will make lovely pattern weights? Are you being a demanding audience, Elizabeth? Are you? Are you creating some sort of rebel uprising whilst I'm busily in my own little world here? Hang on. Whee! With me rulers, marking stuff off. Demanding, you lot, never. Would this be about cataloguing shows by any chance? Or I'm just going out on a guess there. Will I be getting more template plastic? Do you know, Donna, I think I still have some in stock. I will check, and if I do, then I will get it loaded. Certainly there was some knocking about in the warehouse because I moved it yesterday. But it might be that it's going out on orders. I don't know. Let me have a look for you. Right, from this point, let's have a look. We are going to put a mark. We're going to start from this seam allowance here. So we're going to start from that 1/4 inch, and we are going to mark off here at 5, here at 3, at 5 again, and then just check that that is 3. Yeah. Spin it around and mark it on this way here. Did I guess right? So obviously make sure that you're marking the same way. So as I spun it around, I will start with the short side, long side, short side, so that everything matches. Can you see? They correlate. Dink, 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 dink. Technical, I know, right? And then, not me, miss, it was her. Yeah, Elizabeth, I know. We're going to snip up to, but not into, that seam allowance line. Alrighty. You can tell Elizabeth's feeling better. She's up to trouble. She's up to trouble again. There we go. Okay, so we've got everything marked, and now we've got little things like that. And now what we're going to do is make the handle. So we're going to put those to one side for a minute. Doesn't really matter what order you do this in. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And you use such a tiny, tiny bit of this that it's all good. But I still like to cut a strip of it off. Actually, do you know what? Why don't I use up some of yesterday's, and then I don't have to cut into that. And then that would be one more that you guys could actually buy, rather than me being selfish, as this is my favourite colourway anyway. Right, what size do I need to do this? So cut the handle. Yes, let's have a look at that. Bring in the old creative grids. Love them. Love them, love them. Oh, now hang on a minute. Can I fit it in this way? Oh, oh, oh. You see, this is it. Use up your scraps where you can. That's the thing, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So, let's cut it this way. Yes, we've got plenty of space that way. Also, keep your scraps for things like English paper piecing, stuff like that. Always going to be super, super handy. Like stuff like that for your English paper piecing. Absolutely perfect. Utterly perfect. Now, how big do I need this to be? You get all of these measurements, by the way. And they work, which is even better. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? Now, I cut my interfacing and I cut a whole great long strip yesterday, and I thought I'd pre-cut some ready for today. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Yes, I have. So, let's go back onto here for you. So I can put that to one side. Here we go. Have you all got the liberty that you wanted? Have you all done it? Put the right side down onto your pressing mat there. Give it a little press. And then what you want to do is line up your interfacing. So I've just used a medium weight interfacing. Again, use up your scraps that's not using up big bits here. And place that in the middle. It's no great shakes if it's a little bit off one side or the other. There or thereabouts in the middle, and press that, press that interfacing on. This is just giving the handle more body. And I would do this with normal quilting weight cotton as well, because there's quite a lot of filling in these. And if you wanted to, then you could use this for the base, but I would interface, I would reinforce. Yeah, like I did with the early ones. See, they're just, there we are. And when you get your pattern for the doorstop, you'll notice the door. I've never had so many people comment on the fact that we have our door back. It's very exciting. Okay, so all I'm going to do now, you'll see you've got your interfacing on. Use that edge as a guide to just press over, and you can finger press that and then press that down, and you're going to do that both sides so that we have no raw edges when we then fold it in half and sew down that line. So that's why just making sure that you cut the interfacing nice and straight helps. And then you want to fold it in half, like so. Finger press, actual press, however you want to do it. And then top stitch down either side. Bink, bink. And that's your handle done-ish. I've lost my watch and I'm really quite lost without it. I think one of the kids has run off with it, hidden it somewhere. I'll find it somewhere really random, won't I, if it's Emily. But I am a little bit lost. So I put a bracelet on, hoping that it would it would hover it. Anyway, look, we've top stitched down there. And then you've got to decide which way up. I like that way up best. And then, so that's your wrong side where you've marked your 1/4 inch. You want to go on the right side and find your middle point, and you can do that the old-fashioned way of folding it in half and tweaking. You see that it gives you a little folded mark to go by, and then that, and find your center point that way. And then with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're just going to tack that in place. And yes, that is longer, but that's going to give you the handle lift. There, like so. Okay, so that's your handle on. Now, let's get this, and I'll try and do this on here so that you can see. First things first, we're going to stitch from there to there. Okay, so we're going to stitch, put the right sides together, and we're not going to stitch on that outer seam allowance. We are just going to sew from that point to that point. So I put your stitch, if your stitch has been triple stitch forwards and backs, whatever you need to hold that in place. And then just press that seam open. Yeah, if you've got any of the Sew Line triple pens, they are brilliant for marking the denim. I just don't know where I've put it. Oh, I lose everything. I absolutely lose everything. I need someone just to just look after me. Never mind the kids or anything like that. Just to tell me where I've put stuff would be really helpful. Right. Okay, so we're going to put the top in first. We're going to put that handle in first. So what I would say, and I've got my pins there. Let me see if I can do this on a close-up for you. Bear with me, caller. Here we go. You've got a long side there that you marked, and on the opposite side you've got your other long side. So this is going to slip into there. So you put the handle in like that. Get yourself some pins. Now, but don't put it in your mouth, else you can't actually talk at the same time. This cut bit here is going to line up with that seam there. And then again, that cut mark there that you made into the seam lines up with that bit there. Okay, pop your pin in. It must be serious if I'm pinning. Okay, and then go the opposite side. So line up that cut line there, that cut line with that line there, and pin. And then here it's that seam where you didn't sew. Do you remember I said start on that seam line, and that. Okay, so we've got the top and bottom bit pinned, and then that makes the side bits super easy to just pin into place there. There we go. And here your other short side there like that. But not pinning yourself, because that is really silly. Now this is why we drew this on, because we're going to stitch on that line. Now that we've got everything pinned into place, and here we go. So hand on there squashes everything down, because every time that you spin you want everything squished and squashed out of the way. All right, so we are going to triple stitch. That's our starting point. That's going to hold everything. We are going to stitch down that line. Whoops, did I just sew over my pin? I did, didn't I? Oh no! Oh dear, sorry, don't do that. Have I just wrecked that needle? Well, we'll soon see, won't we? Don't do that, for goodness sakes, don't sew over your pins. It's not sounding as happy as it used to. Sorry, my mind was elsewhere there. Right, push that down as you turn. So you want to get all of this pushed out of the way. And oh, Elizabeth, you're funny. Right, there we go. Spin. And then take your pin out, spin again, and again, move everything from underneath. You don't want to be sewing, double sewing on stuff. Oh, it's knocking a bit since I went over the old pin. Now, we're going to come around to that last swivel and turn. Honestly, you lot, I turn and try and concentrate for 2 seconds and you're throwing balls at the back of the class. I don't know, eh? Right, let's get up to there. Right, what I would recommend at this point is that you just check that you've managed to sew around everything. And if you want, I double sew. So I will go around again and just check where you've come onto these corners that you have caught it. And if you haven't, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But you see, look, this is why we made that snip, so that you can turn and go around those corners. We are pretty good. Actually, I just need to snip that little line there. There we go. So there's only a little bit there that I would just, on my second go around, I would sew from the top. So from the other angle this time, just making sure that I have sewn over all those bits. And then I'm going to change that needle because it is not loving me. It did not enjoy that now, did it? Naughty me. Are you lot behaving? Yeah. Donna says, it sounds like the needle is crying. Well, it might be. It might well be. Oh, no. Tell you what, it's still doing it, though. That's the thing, isn't it? We push our machine to the limit. I'll just finish off this line of stitching before I actually help my poor machine. Right. It's just so on this I can actually lock the screen so that nothing can happen whilst I change my needle. Get my little sharps, tic tac. You see the old tic tac box? Sharps written on it. Oh, I'd better put my wonky donkey pin in there as well, hadn't I? I'm normally so, this is why I don't pin. I'm normally so good about taking this stuff out. And of course yesterday I gave Jane the new packet of needles. What do we think she might have done with them? Eh? What do we think? What do we think? It's very annoying because I normally have my needle holster, but they needed at Hochanda, they needed my machine for photography because they didn't have this machine to photograph. It was really annoying because they made me take my needle holster off. So normally I'd have all of my needles on the side. There we go. That's that done. Let's hope it feels a bit better after that. Poor little machine. There we go. Let's unlock it. Oh, hang on. Okay. So what we need to do then is we've got our, well, basically you repeat that on the top, but you need to leave. Poor pin, but a sharps box is a good idea. It is, Suzanne, it really is. And it helps me tremendously, I have to say, because I really like Tic Tacs. So it was a great, in fact, I think that was the cherry cola one. Oh, they're awful for you, aren't they, Tic Tacs? But I do enjoy one. Yeah, Jane is tidy and hopefully put them where they live. Thanks, Elizabeth. Are you insinuating I'm not tidy? I can't believe it. I can't. I mean, you'd be right, but you know, I couldn't claim otherwise. My mum will be giggling to herself because I've been messy all my life, and now just as I try and get tidy, I'm the only one that really tidies here. Just as I try and get tidy, I'm now married to someone who isn't tidy either. So, especially tools. And this is where my dad just thinks that karma is a thing. Because whenever I used to borrow any of his tools for anything as a teenager or what have you, or when I first got, moved into my own place or whatever, I'd never put them back. And he's got them. I mean, my dad he's got the most immaculate tool department. Yeah, he now thinks it's complete karma that Stephen never puts any of my tools back, to the extent that I have my own toolbox hidden where he can't find it, so that he can't use any of my tools, so that when I know if I need a hammer or something, I know exactly where it is. It's bad, isn't it? Oh dear, right. So this time when we sew around, we are going to leave a turning through gap. That's the idea. Chatting. You cheeky lot. I don't know. Okay. So this isn't a particularly difficult make or anything like that. Claire's managed to do all her washing up while I've been on her phone. Oh, well, excellent. I'm glad that you are doing that multitasking. And I've made a dull task enjoyable. Well, thank you very much. You see, am I the only one that doesn't really see the point in a dishwasher? Because by the time that you've washed half the food off the plate anyway, to then put it in the dishwasher, to then have to wait around for an hour and a half before you can actually take it back out again. And I may as well have done it. Yeah. Right. Let's have a go. Oh, just heard my ducks quacking. The rescue ducks, by the way, are doing really, really well. For those, someone was asking about them the other day, and I forgot to say, the rescue ducks that we collected a few weeks ago, they're doing incredibly well, to the extent that they are now progressing to an actual pond, and out of. Okay, so it's going to help if I actually threaded this, isn't it? And out of their paddling pool. So the ducks, I don't know how much you guys know about ducks, but ducks are my favourite birds. So I'll just bore you with duck talk for a moment. When you get rescue ducks that haven't been near water, they're not waterproof, would you believe? So I'm taking that pin out straight away. So our beautiful, beautiful ducks, when they arrived, bless them, terrified of everything. It took them 2 days before they'd actually venture out of their duck house. And they weren't waterproof. So they had to have a paddling pool to dabble in, and the dabbling in the water then encourages them to preen, and it's the preening that then makes them waterproof. So bless their little cottons, they're now waterproof and are now allowed a pond. So we are digging a pond for them on Sunday. Yes, we are. To be fair, my son and our otterhound might have done most of that digging for us. So there's not going to be much to do. Oh, Jane never had a dishwasher. You don't know what you're missing. When you get one, you can't live without it. Yeah, but I just. And also some of the tablets. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still have one, because when my husband does a roast, he uses every single pan in the house, and I'm still trying to wash up on Wednesday from a Sunday roast. So we do have one, but it's just not my favourite thing. Now, washing machines. Whew, yeah. Okay, so I'm leaving a turning through gap. Even though I'm chatting, I have remembered to do that. Go me. Kay says, I have a dishwasher. It's called my husband. Well, you see, that's the one, isn't it? That's the one. As long as they do a good job. But what if they don't? Again, if you want to go around and reinforce this and go around again, I'm just checking that on the corners I have actually stitched that in, and we're good. There we go. So then on that turning through gap, put your fingers in, grab hold of your handle. Morning, Laurie, how are you? Nice of you to join. And Karina, hello, hello, hello. We're getting lots of new names. Lots of new names? Lots of new names, you know what I mean. As I wrestle this through. Because I stitch this by hand, I'm going to be honest, I make it as small as possible. So, yeah, I can't lie. It probably should be a little bit bigger, but I hand stitch these shut. So I'm bad. Are you well, Laurie? It's lovely to have your company. How is that beautiful cat of yours? That's what I want to know. Right, when you get it like this, get your old knitting needle out and just gently ease out those edges. There we go. Now what I want to know is, when I come off air, how much of the buckwheat has been measured and weighed and bagged up. It comes in massive great big sacks, and I left Emily, my 2-year-old, and her babysitter doing some. So it'll be interesting to see how much they've managed, and how much Mr. Tumble took hold. So, but Emily does like to be involved. The warehouse is her favourite place. There we go. So isn't that gorgeous, that handle? And of course you could have done that in a contrasting fabric, entirely up to you. Oh, Claire said the smallest turning through gap was on the booties you made last night. My poor fingers. Yeah, but Claire, those booties did look absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You are a clever thing. So you can give that a press if you want, but we're going to stuff it and then we're nearly done. There we go. All right. So let's talk about fillings, shall we? Because we have options. You can use the buckwheat in all of the scents. That's absolutely fine. And I would pretty much fill that full. Now, the other thing that we've got, somewhere, did I? Oh, I just filled this with lavender. We've got the lavender, by the way. You know, the special lovely Yorkshire lavender. Oh, no, I did. I put the lavender on top. Right, so let me show you. You know, I like to go all eco as much as I can. Well, you might be saying, well, Natasha, what are you doing with plastic pellets, plastic beads, whatever you want to call them? They're 5 mil, so they're super tiny, and that's fine. What am I doing with them? It's not terribly eco. Yes, it is. It is because these pellets, and they feel amazing, by the way. And they're going to go everywhere. I should have taken such a big handful. Hang on. So, oh, come on, switch camera. There we go. These pellets, tiny little beads, not beads, beans, tiny, 5 mil. They are from leftover industry. So when plastic is manufactured and there's stuff that isn't used or it's cut out and there's a bit that's left over from cutting out, these are melted down, the plastic's melted down, and these are made from stuff that would otherwise have been thrown away. Okay, so that's why I feel okay to have these, because otherwise they just would have gone into landfill. But these have been made into, you know, something that's actually useful. The other reason that I like these is that when your project comes to its end, if you haven't mixed these with lots of other stuff, I've mixed mine with lavender because I don't intend to ever throw this away. But if it comes to the end of its days, if you've put it in just like a separate little sack or a little calico bag or something like that within a project, maybe you're doing a door stopper and you just, you know, the rest is like fibre fill, like toy stuffing or something, and you just want that weight in the bottom, then just put it in a little calico, make a little calico bag and then put that in to give you the weight. And then if and when that project ever gets thrown away or anything like that, just take these out, wash them, you can reuse them. Okay, and that's why I'm happy to use them. Now I'm going to weigh out my filling. It's going to be about 600 grams, say. So let's weigh this out. I have mixed my pellets with lavender. And the reason that I've done that is because it smells amazing. Every time you move it, the effect of the beans rubbing on the lavender just makes it smell amazing. Now, I have used a funnel for this, and it has worked in the past, but I did the lavender separately last time, so we'll see. But a funnel or a piece of paper if you don't have a funnel. And yes, Elizabeth, I did steal it from the kitchen where it's used to, you know, fill up my dishwasher salt from the dishwasher that I don't use that much. Stephen uses it, I don't. Here we go. But I just made a funnel. There you go, and that works just as well because it's slightly wider. There you go. And you can get it in. And again, I wouldn't necessarily fill it right to the top. Woohoo! But it does smell pretty good. Oh, yeah. Now that I've weighed out probably about half of what I needed. And I did go a little bit lavender heavy. So I'm only going to put a little bit more lavender in there. And then I'm going to go in with my plastic beads. And in they go. But I mean, the weight that I've written and the quantities that I've written on the instructions are a guide. They really are. You get 500 grams in a bag of those, and that will do this. And then if you want to add any extra fillings in, if you want to add some of the scented buckwheat in, do that. It's entirely up to you. But the pellets will sort of activate the scent, which is lovely with the lavender. So with your lavender, if you're going for the lavender today, it is beautiful Yorkshire lavender. It's got a gorgeous scent. Not all lavenders are created the same, I have to say, but these just smells divine. And as long as you don't leave it near a heat source for the oil in it to dry out, you'll be okay. So I use these. Do you remember I did the book cushion with the lavender filled ravioli? This is the lavender that we use. And my daughter still grabs those ravioli and runs around the house sniffing them going, She really loves them. And I made a tablet stand and put just the plain buckwheat and lavender in that, so that my son could read his book before bed when we have bedtime if we wanted to rest it on there, and he'd have that lovely smell of lavender to help relax him. And I found him hugging it. So now we put the little lavender ravioli that we did with the book cushion kit, and we just tuck some of those under his pillow, and that just gives him a nice little lavender smell. So it's really, really beautiful, really lovely. And that is pretty much it. We just need to now sew that up. Oh, Carol just finished making Christmas marmalade. Now needs to clean up the pans, etc. by hand washing. Dishwasher died. Yeah, you see, it's the other thing, isn't it? These naughty things. Right. But you still made your marmalade, so good for you. Good for you. Let's slip stitch this shut. You can whip stitch, you can slip stitch, you can do all of those things. It's entirely up to you. I will just cast on if you like, and then we'll... Oh, I should probably have done it in a different colour. Do you all know how to slip stitch? Are we all good? Shall I just do it, or do you want to have a look? Oh, what's 600 grams in old money? About 1.25 pounds. Oh, well done, Lynn. Thank you. I have no idea. That's why I have a translate button or a converter button somewhere on my phone. Right, let's see this then. So there's your gap, and all I would say is go. So a ladder stitch, I think of these sides here as being the sides of your ladder. So you're going to put your needle in and up the side, and then I always think of it as the rungs that cross over to directly across, exactly parallel, and then it goes in. Whoop, trying to do it at a funny angle for you there. In and along on that fold line, and across to directly on the other side, and then you just don't see the stitches. But can you see there are the stitches? That's what I mean. So if you were to look at it like that, there would be the rungs of your there'd be the rungs of your ladder, and you just sew down the side, and then when you pull it shut, honestly you can't see any stitches. It's fab. That's how I remember it anyway. I remember the very first time I did one of the door stoppers, it was the first time that I had to do a slip stitch. I didn't know what it was. Had to go and look it up. And we didn't have great internet because we lived in the middle of Bodmin Moor. So trying to... Oh, here we go again. Yeah, Google anything. Trying to search for anything. Oh, Ali, sorry. Should I have done it in... not just in metric? That's why I need my little thimble pad. Oh, Rachel, you started soaking your fruit for your Christmas cakes. Do you know what? I've got to find my special recipe book where I've got my mum's Christmas cake recipe all written out, because she's not going to be able to make our Christmas cakes this year because she's not going to be here. So what is the point? So, yeah, I'm going to have to actually make it, which, I'm going to be honest, fills me with a slight amount of dread and horror if I tell you about the pumpkin cakes I made the other day. So Jane Alcock used to be a chef. She used to be a pastry chef. She is pretty amazing at making stuff like that. and she brought in the most delicious pumpkin cake the other day after her husband had finished with his pumpkin carving. And so I thought, oh, that's good. She says, oh, it's just a BBC recipe, you know, nothing fancy. They were delicious. It tasted like just the most incredible carrot cake. It was delicious. So after we finished carving our pumpkins, I was like, oh, I'll just have a go at that recipe. I'm no baker, but it was the same recipe. My kids love Jane's. Bleh, yuck, with mine. How rude, how rude. So I now have a lot of pumpkin cupcakes to eat. I'm not complaining. It's quite nice, actually. So, yeah, that's how it goes. I'm just not going to cook nice stuff for my kids anymore. Ungrateful. Ungrateful. So, just when I cast off, I tend to go sort of back through so that forms a little knot there anyway. And if I'd have had enough thread ready loaded, I probably would have done that on a double whatever. Oh, so talking of double whatevers, which probably doesn't make sense, would you guys be interested in 40 weight Aurifil thread in sort of 3 colour families, so that you'd get a light, a medium and a dark colour within the same colourway? Would that be of interest? So the 40 weight is slightly more robust than the 50 weight. It's beautiful for quilting, for dressmaking as well, and lots of craft sewing. So it's just slightly more robust than the 50 weight. There we have it, guys. That's it. That is one door stopper. I rather love that. Yeah. You know, when you come in part way through a conversation, I just glanced down and Emma's just said, "Oh, get some mini pigs." I don't know how this conversation started. I don't know what it's referring to. Rude, Ali. She said, "Don't worry, Natasha. A Christmas cake doesn't really have to rise. Just make cake batter and throw in whatever fruit I like." I've made 5 3 weeks ago. I have 2 left. Paul is a fruit cakeaholic. You've now hidden one. Yeah, no, you see, that's the thing. Anybody that knows me, and my husband will tell you that I only bake in 2D. Nothing rises. Nothing rises. Oh, Diane would love Aurifil. Great. Okay. And Linda, yes, please. I might have already put in that order, so I was kind of hoping that you said yes. I've had to do a pre-order. Again, I'm going to get really like, when's it coming? When's it coming? When's it coming? I'm no good at this pre-order business, but I have pre-ordered it for you, so I will do that. And it does look really beautiful. And hopefully I've ordered enough. So that really is today's show in a nutshell, so to speak. So you've got 13 different choices on your Liberty. Again, get in quick because some of those I've only got like 2 of. Some I've got a lot more of. So it just depends. It's quite satisfying actually. So there we go. That is it. And it smells divine, and every time I move it, it's going to give off that lovely, lovely waft. Diane, I think these are a new thing that Aurifil are doing, so it won't be like the get free threads deal that we had, but I will try and make it really special. Susan says, beautiful doorstop. Well, thank you very much. It's great ingredients. And that's, you know, I might not be able to bake, but I can make a doorstop that smells amazing. And that's what matters, right? It's pretty fabric. I don't care. I can gift this. No, who am I kidding? I'm not gifting that. That's going by the new front door. Guys, we will be back again at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning with lovely Jane Alcock, who is doing her block of the month. Yay! It's that time of the month already. Yes, block of the month time. So hopefully you will have received yours by now. We worked out the other day that Royal Mail lose on average 2% of post. So hopefully everybody's got theirs now. Laurie says, see you later. Don't let the lavender put you to sleep. Oh, I tell you what, I might have watched a few too many episodes of Schitt's Creek last night. Love it, and I'm nearing the end. I'm so sad. I don't want it to finish. Anyway, Oh, Colette would really love the 12 weight Aurifil for hand quilting. I will see what I can do. Take care, lovely people. I will see you tomorrow with Jane at 10 for block of the month. Myra, is it Whippet safe? I don't know. Is anything safe from a Whippet? Who knows? Take care and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.